You need to buy a property insurance policy from us, the bank, for 1.4 lakh rupees for the home loan to be approved. Yes, this happened with a close friend of mine, Vineet, who recently went through the home loan process while buying a flat in Bangalore. Everything was progressing smoothly. The loan was almost sanctioned, the registration date was near, and he was mentally prepared to move into his new home. Then the bank told him about the property insurance policy that he needs to buy from the bank itself. Now think about for a moment. You are days away from your registration. You've already paid booking amounts. The seller is waiting, and suddenly you are told there's one more mandatory step about insurance. But instead of agreeing immediately, Vineet did some research. A comparable property insurance policy was available for around 20,000 rupees. The difference was too large to ignore. That experience led me to look more closely at the structural dark patterns that many home loan borrowers unknowingly walk into. Let me walk you through 5 such RBI rules on home loans that you need to be aware of. Rule number 1. One of the most common myths in home loan lending is that insurance is mandatory for loan approval. Banks often present property insurance or life insurance as if it were a regulatory requirement. It is not. There is no RBI rule that says you must purchase insurance from the bank to get your home loan sanctioned. Insurance itself can be useful. Property insurance protects the structure of the house against fire, natural calamities, or damage. Life insurance ensures that if the borrower passes away, the outstanding loan does not become a burden on the family. These are all valid financial tools. The problem begins when they are presented as compulsory and bundled without clarity. The real financial impact is often hidden in how the premium is structured. Suppose a bank offers a policy costing 1.4 lakh and simply adds it to your loan. If your loan runs for 20 years at around 9% interest, you are not just paying 1.4 lakh, you are paying interest on that 1.4 lakh for 2 decades. Over time, the effective cost could become significantly higher. Even if you believe insurance is necessary, you are free to buy it from any insurer. The bank cannot legally insist that you purchase their product. In some cases, banks may indicate that your interest rate will be marginally higher if you decline their bundled insurance. That is when you calmly calculate the numbers. Compare the higher interest rate cost versus the tenure versus the cost of buying insurance independently. The key is making a choice based on total cost and no pressure. Rule number 2. Most borrowers focus only on the headline interest rate. However, in a floating rate loan, the structure matters just as much as the number. Today, most home loans are linked to RBI's repo rate. Your effective interest rate is typically the repo rate plus the bank's spread. When RBI changes the repo rate, your interest rate changes according to the reset cycle defined in your loan agreement. Let us take an example. Suppose you borrow 50 lakhs for 20 years at 9% interest. Your EMI would be roughly 45,000 rupees. If the repo rate falls and your loan rate reduces to 8.5%, your EMI remains the same but tenure drops. On the other hand, when interest rate rise, banks often extend your tenure while EMI remains the same. But if you want, in such a scenario, you can ask the bank to increase your EMI rather than your tenure. Extending tenure during rising rates may increase your total interest burden. The trap is assuming the bank optimizes the loan for you. The bank adjusts mechanically, you must decide strategically. By the way, you can get more such insightful stories and perspectives every week in our newsletter, Mind Over Market. Now let's talk about rule number 3. Another widespread misconception is that prepaying a home loan attracts heavy penalties. For floating rate home loans, RBI has clearly stated that lenders cannot charge prepayment or foreclosure penalties. This matters because in early years of home loan, a large portion of your EMI goes towards the interest rather than the principal. If you have a 50 lakh loan and you are in your year 3, most of what you are paying is servicing the interest. Suppose you receive a 5 lakh bonus and use it to reduce your principal at that stage. You are not just reducing those 5 lakh rupees, you are eliminating the interest that would have accumulated on that 5 lakh over the remaining tenure. the earlier you reduce the principal, the more powerful the impact. Banks may have operational conditions such as minimum prepayment amounts or limits on frequency, but these are process rules, not penalties. Rule number 4. Many borrowers assume that once a home loan is taken, it must remain with the same bank until completion. That is not true. You are permitted to transfer your outstanding loan to another bank offering better terms. This is called a balance transfer. Switching does involve costs, including administrative charges and especially stamp duty related to the transfer, that are in the range of 0 to 0.5% of the agreement value. Therefore, compare your potential savings that come with the transfer along with the transfer charges. Now imagine you have a 40 lakh outstanding with 15 years remaining and your current interest rate is 9%. If another bank offers 8.4%, the difference of 0.6% over 15 years can translate into substantial interest savings. If the savings meaningfully exceed the switching cost, a balance transfer may make a financial sense. At times, one can renegotiate these rates with their own bank as well, and switching might not be required. Nonetheless, if you want to switch, the rules are clear, you can, but you will still have to spend some time on it. Now let's talk about Rule 5. Most borrowers are familiar only with the traditional EMI-based home loan structure. However, there is another structure called an overdraft home loan that can be useful in certain situations. In an overdraft structure, your loan is linked to a saving or current account. Any surplus funds parked in that account reduce your effective outstanding principal. Interest is calculated only on the net balance. For example, if your outstanding loan is 50 lakhs and you maintain a 5 lakh surplus as emergency fund in that linked account, interest is calculated on the 45 lakh rupees. Unlike a permanent prepayment, you can withdraw the 5 lakh whenever needed. Overdraft loans may have slightly higher interest rates than the standard loans. However, if you consistently maintain surplus funds, the interest saved from reducing the effective principal can outweigh the higher rate. This structure is particularly useful for entrepreneurs or individuals with fluctuating cash flows. The thing is that you assume there is only one way to structure a home loan without evaluating the alternatives. Also, I want to thank Sohail Manocha from Butter Money for helping us understand this home loan process better. Now let's quickly understand a few things that you need to remember before you finalize the lender. First, insurance is not mandated by RBI as a condition for loan sanction. Compare independently and choose consciously. 2. Understand whether your loan is fixed or floating, what benchmark it is linked to, and how often the rate resets. 3. When interest rates change, actively choose whether to reduce EMI or tenure instead of accepting automatic adjustments. 4. Use prepayment strategically, especially in the early years to maximize interest saving. 5th, periodically compare your rate with market offerings and evaluate balance transfer option if the difference is meaningful. And 6th, always ask for the RBI mandated key fact statement, which provides a clear breakdown of total loan costs, including processing fee and other charges. Being informed and confidently aware about these home loan rules is as important as these steps may seem simple, but over a 20-year loan, they can save a substantial amount. I hope you like this video. See you in the next one. Until then, happy investing.